There was today a remarkable piece on this website called Politico, which is basically populated with a bunch of left-wing losers who can't write for old newspapers. But in any event, there they are. But actually a very intelligent piece by Paul Goldman and Mark Roselle. Illegal immigrants could elect Hillary. I saw this and immediately sent it to all my favorite websites and all my favorite talk hosts and so forth and so on. I said, look at this. How non-citizens decrease Republican chances of winning the White House next year. Now, these authors are not talking about the voting of illegal aliens. They are talking about the presence of illegal aliens in the United States. Because the way it works right now, their presence determines how many electoral college votes there will be in each state, in addition to the members of Congress. So their presence counts even though they're not citizens, and this is a challenge now working its way to the Supreme Court, but nonetheless, this is the way it is right now. And the blue states are benefiting handsomely from this, from the wave after wave after wave of illegal immigrants, because under our current execution of this process, they are counted for electoral college purposes. Now, I want to dig into this a little more deeply as only I can and explain further. I'll be right back. Immigrants, along with other non-citizens without the right to vote, may pick the 2016 presidential winner. Thanks to the unique math undergirding the Electoral College, the mere presence of 11 to 12 million illegal immigrants, a.k.a. 20 million, and other non-citizens here legally may enable them to swing the election from Republicans to Democrats. Now, of course, this is a backdoor attack on the Electoral College, but the Electoral College is perfectly fine. The problem is what we're doing on our border, particularly the Democrats and more recently the Republicans. The right to vote is intended to be a singular privilege of citizenship, but the 1787 Constitutional Convention rejected allowing the people to directly elect their president. The delegates chose instead our Electoral College system, under which 538 electoral votes distributed among the states determine the presidential victor. The Electoral College awards one elector for each U.S. senator, thus 100 of the total, and D.C. gets 3 electors pursuant to the 23rd Amendment. Those electoral numbers are unaffected by the size of the non-citizen population. But the same cannot be said for the remaining 435, more than 80% of the total, which represent the members elected to the House. So what they're saying, it's based on population. The framers just never anticipated such diabolical politicians getting elected and elected and elected time and again. And they made the point, if the people want tyranny, the people are going to get tyranny. That's essentially what Franklin said and wrote at the end of the Constitutional Convention. Now, some people have said this is why the Democrats want illegal aliens in this country. That's certainly true. But there's another point, isn't there? This is also why they refuse to deport them. Did you think about that, Mr. Producer? They will not deport illegal aliens, because illegal aliens increase what they believe is their likelihood of winning the Electoral College, particularly winning the electors in the blue states. So they're increasing the population of the United States. They don't even need illegal aliens to vote. They just need to get them into these blue states and red states more and more. That when they win California, or when they win New York, or when they win New Jersey, or when they win Illinois, or when they win Maryland, there are so many legal and illegal, I should have stressed legal too, non-citizens, non-voting citizens, that the more who pour into these blue states, the bigger the vote for the politicians. That's why some of you in California, as an example, you scratch your head. Well, there's a lot of reasons for illegal immigration in California. You got one-party rule. You've got an enormous Hispanic population, not all of whom support it, obviously, but the liberals do, the Democrats do. But it also keeps the Democrat Party in power. It keeps the Democrat Party in power. This is why they will not deport illegal aliens in any significant way. 40%, I've said it here over and over again, so other people are listening on the echo chamber. Over and over again, 40% of the people here illegally overstay their visas. That means they're not 12 years old. That means they come here knowing they're going to break the law. They break the contract with our immigration system, with our government, that they're coming here for a specific purpose, for a specific period of time and leaving. They can be students, they can be teachers, they can be entertainers, they can be seasonal workers, whatever it is. They choose not to leave. It's not hardship cases, it's people who choose not to leave. 40%. And the Democrats won't even go after them. The Republicans are so stupid, they don't even understand what's going on here. They're such morons, they don't even get it. They're loading up these states for electoral college purposes, which this article makes clear stunningly in Politico.com. Illegal immigrants could elect Hillary. Illegal immigrants could elect Hillary. How non-citizens decrease Republican chances of winning the White House next year. The number one issue in America today is immigration. The debt is a massive issue, and one day it will drag this country into the abyss. Our enemies are a massive issue, and one day they will have the capacity to wipe us off the face of the earth. So I'm in no way downplaying that. Don't misunderstand, please. But what I'm telling you today, this day, the biggest issue is immigration. Because we're reaching a point where Republicans and certainly conservatives cannot win elections. Not because they don't campaign hard enough, not because they don't raise enough money, not because their message is off. It's because they can't win elections the way it is set up, because the diabolical left has destroyed our electoral process, as they've destroyed this republic, as they've destroyed the Constitution, as they've destroyed our sovereignty. That's precisely what's going on here. A permanent majority Democrat Party, radical left party. And even then it's not good enough for them, ladies and gentlemen. Notice they do not propose amendments to the Constitution, as I just said. They can't get the broad party politic to support their views. So they play the system. They game the system corruptly, diabolically. And when they lose elections, which will become increasingly infrequent, as this article explains in my view, they will use fiats. They will use executive orders. They will use bureaucratic regulations and rules. They will use leftists that they install in the court system. They will use the NLRB and all the other phony so-called independent agencies to advance their agenda where we have no recourse, except Article 5 and Convention of States. But I won't get into that now. And even then, there's going to be a time when that recourse becomes impossible, as they take over the state legislatures increasingly. And those who have objected to Article 5 and Convention of States, when we have an opportunity to actually embrace it and advance it as the framers intended, those who fight us within the conservative movement, those who fight us in the Republican Party, they will rue the day. We will rue the day. Our children will rue the day, because you have a small window of opportunity, and it's closing fast. This is precisely why the Democrats will not deport illegal aliens. Because illegal aliens are their constituent group. That's their constituent group. Even legal alien, non-citizens, that's their constituent group. They're loading up the states with people, so you can count the people for purposes of the Electoral College. So when they win these big states like California, New York, and Illinois, when they win these big states like Michigan, sometimes Florida now, hopefully never Texas, but never say never, then it's over. Then it's over. It doesn't matter how many small states we cobble together. Doesn't matter how many southern states we cobble together, or Midwestern states, or southwestern states, or what have you. The numbers become impossible mathematically. This is why I detest the Republican leadership. This is why I detest the President of the United States. What they are doing to this country, they are destroying the system. They are disenfranchising the American people. To advance what? A destructive ideology. A police state ideology that every third world dictator uses. If I were our children and grandchildren, I would resent us. I would resent us, and you might say, well, they vote liberal. That's because of us. That's because we send them through these indoctrination camps that we call the public system. That's because day in and day out on TV, they are indoctrinated with left-wing ideology over and over and over again. That's because Hollywood pukes it out in the form of movies and entertainment and so forth and so on. It's just disastrous. Illegal immigrants could elect Hillary president. And there she is campaigning against the Constitution, campaigning against the Bill of Rights. And there's Mitch McConnell. This article right here. Here's Mitch McConnell, who's been working with Barack Obama behind the scenes on spending. This is why he was never going to entertain using the power of the purse. He surrendered it.